It's time for fun. It's time for guy talk.
Never mind.
It's time for shenanigans.
Yeah, man. Hump Day, Super Bowl week. Arthur Blank's going to join us, guys, about 5:45, about an hour from now, so stay tuned for that. Our first chance to talk to the boss and the owner, and it's been a minute on Dukes and Bell. Carl, the show is brought to you by our buddies at Hey Man Ale. We got some on display. We're on TV, by the way, guys, on Twitch, so you can watch us. Check out Twitch. The link is up at 92.9 The Game as well. Carl's down there. He's got Skyhawks tonight. That's why it's a split screen of you in a freeze frame and me. Trying to suck in my stomach as we speak. By the way, it's funny. SquidBilly brought up a great topic. Really got a lot of attraction on this earlier about Little Debbie cakes and your favorite Little Debbie cakes, whether it's in a snack machine or you're buying it at a convenience store or whatever. Real quick, I just want to use my platform, Carl, to speak about an issue which is important to me and perhaps to many folks who move down here from the north. Entenmann's and the drivers of the trucks. Why can't you put chocolate chip cookies in every store? Why is it like lemon cake and there's no chocolate chip cookies? The only thing you really, really want from Entenmann's is the chocolate chip cookies. I say the greatest chocolate chip cookies ever made, mass produced, other than Mom's.
Where do you get
when
yours?
They're available at your neighborhood Publix or Kroger. Okay. But the sick son of a gun who drives the trucks, they put all these things I never want. I didn't know Entenmann's had all these products. Like SquidBilly was mentioned in 17 different flavors of Little Debbie cakes. By the way, have you guys ever had Entenmann's chocolate chips? Chris nods. SquidBilly, you ever had them? They're the best. It's a little pinch of salt that they put in it. It makes it all the flavor, Carl. It's the best. I'm just saying. For the guy, the Publix and Tyrone, that's the one that needs the chocolate chip cookies. Thank you. So every once in a while, Carl, you can use this, this 100,000-watt megaphone to try to, spin things into your, into what you want. Just throw it out there.
Or get out of a ticket.
That was in North Carolina. Okay.
Oh, my bad.
By the way, Carl, I had him on speaker when I talked my way out of that ticket in going up to Charlotte for the Falcons Panthers game.
That's right.
And I was like, white privilege. Okay, man. Michael Irvin, apparently in some hot water.
Uh-oh.
And I don't want to accuse him of anything because no one really knows what he may or may not have did or done, I should say. But apparently after a night out in Phoenix, he returns to his hotel in Glendale, and there's an interaction with a woman, and whether somebody overheard something or she made a beef, all of a sudden, NFL Network tells Mike he's not going to be a part of the pregame festivities. And Michael goes on Dallas radio and says, I don't even know what I did.
What? Why do these issues, first of all, Mike, I kind of thought he revived his career. I mean, we've seen him on First Take. He's always been doing stuff on NFL Network. He kills that. And really haven't had any issues. I mean, like, the Playmaker's so much fun, man. We've had him on the show. So what did he do? Like, I don't even know. Like, what did he do that is going to allow him or not allow him to be on this pregame show now?
Here's what the Dallas Morning News has so far. He also went on our buddy Shannon RJ show on The Fan in Dallas, and he basically said there's a lot going on. I come back in the hotel, and I may have spoke to a woman for less than a minute, and I went up to my room. So, again, it's a weekend of the Super Bowl. So I'm not going to cast any aspersions. Maybe Mike was overserved, whatever, but he comes back in the hotel. I don't know. Did he say something untoward toward this woman? He basically says, I have no recollection of this, but apparently something got back to the guys running the NFL Network, and they've announced that moving forward, he's not going to be doing anything. He was part of the interviews talking to the players on the opening night on Monday.
Yeah, and he did a really good job. I mean, first it's Michael Irvin, so guys, they open up to him.
So again, it's now, of course, TMZ and everybody is speculating. What did he hit on somebody? And what is the definition in 2023 of hitting on someone?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, so what if he did? Like, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm so over this sensitivity stuff about, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to offend anybody. Everybody, I want to respect everybody. But at the end of the day, like, to your point, Mike, what can you and can you not say? Did he say hello in a very sexual way to a young lady? And
hey, girl, you're looking good, girl. I don't know. I don't know. So either way, now, again, there's further investigation, and NFL Network wants to explain why exactly, you're taking out a guy that a lot of people enjoy hearing his opinion. Now, he did have some, he's had accusations before, and no charges were ever filed, twice back 10 years ago for one case. Either way, a lot of confusion, and Michael's literally saying, I don't know what I did wrong. So we'll have to wait and see what goes on with that one. Hey, man, you and I talked a lot the last year about LIV Golf and the controversy between LIV Golf and the PGA Tour. LIV Golf, it all started when Phil Mickelson said, oh, man, those Saudis some crazy people. They killed that Khashoggi guy, but hey, they're going to pay us some big money, more than the PGA. That's how it got started. But you often ask me, and you and I discussed, LIV Golf is giving these guys crazy contracts, $100 million, $150 million to guys like Dustin Johnson and Koepka and Phil. But are they making any money? Because obviously, it's the Saudi Arabian TV, car wash where we're going to, if you have other countries do this and they use Formula One for it, where you have human rights violations and you try to change your image by promoting sports, and it's been going on for years. But guess what? They didn't make a dime last year with LIV Golf.
Stop it.
They didn't make any money. Yahoo Sports has got an article that says the lawyers for LIV Golf, and this is part of this ongoing lawsuit litigation, there's a couple of guys involved, including who we just talked about last week, the Georgia golfer that cheats all the time.
Oh, you're talking about Patrick Reed.
Patrick Reed. There you go. Maybe he'll throw me in that lawsuit with Brandel Chambly. Allegedly cheats all the time. After spending more than $700 million to bring in talent, it shouldn't come as a surprise. LIV Golf made little to no money in the inaugural year, and as you pointed out, mostly because where the heck do I find it on television?
Yeah,
it was streaming last year.
It was YouTube, if I remember correctly. Right. Yeah, Mike, they don't have this big lucrative deal that's paying them multi-millions of dollars, but yet they're paying out over the course of these contracts hundreds of millions of dollars to these golfers. I am not surprised, but I think that, again, the money just seems like it grows on trees over there. I'm not surprised that they don't even care that they didn't cut a profit. They feel like they're going to grow this, and it's going to become the new best and bigger thing. I don't believe that. I don't think the PGA is going anywhere, and I know the PGA is taking a hit, Mike. I watched a little bit of the tournament over the weekend. I'll be honest with you. I was like, I don't know some of these guys. Some of these guys have been lesser-tier guys on the tour, and now they're getting more exposure because some of the more name brands have left and went to LIV. But it's not helping the PGA Tour, but they're not going anywhere.
No, but the PGA's got the big deals with CBS and
Absolutely.
NBC. And by the way, you're going to find, as we said, was it last month, you're going to find LIV Golf on the CW. So apparently the real victim here is...
I'm excited.
The real victim is Steve Harvey. Family Feud is going to be preempted on CW on your Saturdays and Sundays. Anyway, hey, another story, and I thought this was interesting because I know you usually have tax people to do your taxes, not to put your business out there, and you've got professionals, and you do it later in the tax year. I'm one of those early bird gets the worm. I want to know how much I owe, and I get it out. I get it done early. Well, I just saw an article in Channel 2, IRS telling millions of Georgians to hold up on filing your income tax.
Why?
Well, good question. 19 states approved stimulus or rebate payments, and the agency has not yet decided how those funds will be considered by the IRS. In other words, if you got a rebate check issued in 22, will that count as taxable income?
Okay.
So if you're like me and I just cranked the whole thing out over the weekend, I do TurboTax. It's like, it's like taxes for dummies, Yes, no, yes, send. So, I mean, because I used to itemize it, and Big Ray, I used to use my tax guy, and he used to drive him crazy. And he'd say, well, you can't itemize that. I'm like, well, why not? He goes, because it's technically not true. I go, come on, Ray, let's stretch it a little bit. So now I just take the standard deduction, and I just move on. But if you do have more moving parts in your life, and again, this might not apply to everybody, but for some out there, you might want to slow roll unless you are like an idiot like me who knocks it out early.
Okay, that's good news to know. I mean, listen, here's the problem that has happened over the last few years, and I won't get into the minutia of this, but in 2020, they changed so many things because of the pandemic, which ultimately a lot of people got money. And then the IRS has come back and said, we want our money. So now you've got people paying on money that they didn't think they had to pay on because they got free money, they thought, from the government. And so now you roll around, and there are tax changes that have happened, and I'm not a tax attorney or any of this, but I'm just telling you from my experience. So there are a lot of new rules, to Mike's point, and a new laws in place. So, yeah, man, do your homework. Make sure you're getting your value because, we all got to pay.
Take your time on this deal. Don't rush it. And then this weekend, guys, as you know, biggest game of the year. Ad revenue is going to be nuts. Are they going to get into the $750 million range? We're going to find out. But Fox has sold out all their ads. So far, according to Advertising Age, the ads you're likely to like, Bryan Cranston revisiting a character from Breaking Bad. Danny McBride is going to be pimping a detergent. Also, you've got Brian Cox, who plays Logan Roy on Succession. And apparently this Caddyshack ad is going to be kind of funny. With him, I guess, kind of playing like a Ted Knight type character. So I during the commercial break, I looked. I don't want to give it away because a lot of people, that's half the fun, is watching the commercials during the course of the broadcast. But there are some good ones this year. We'll see what the advertising meters and metrics say about which ones were the best.